Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for going this video, making yourself a priority. I am Denise. It is Monday, July 29th. What? Whew. Oh, we are ready. We are heading towards August this week. August 1st is Thursday. Holy Toledo's, Batman. Are you ready for August? I'm not. Well, I am technically, but I've said this before. Once July 4th hits, the summer flies by. And it's always raining true for me. Oh my gosh. Another week on WW. Another week notched off our calendars. Another week older. But, okay. I went to my meeting on Friday, so I do attend in-person WW meetings. Again, I started on the 12th of July. And we are now... And the 26th was my third in-person meeting. Third. Oh, and I do love this leader. I do love this leader. She's probably the best one I've ever listened to. She's so good. She's so thought-provoking. She gets down to it. She's really, really good. So I'm so happy to be there. I get so much from her. And I told her that on Friday. I said, I love being here. I said, you're fantastic. I said, I've been through several. You're the best one. She's relatable because she has a story, but she gets you thinking. And I think a lot of people need to be thinking. And I thought she just really gets right to it. So I love her. Kathleen, you rock. So how did you do this week, dude? Well, let's go over the week real quick because I don't because I was going in there not very confident. Not thinking, I had a few indulgent dinners. I had a few days, we'll say days. Friday and Saturday of that week. So I went on Friday. It was Friday and Saturday. Now, were they like ridiculous? Did I eat my face off? I did not. But I ate things that I don't normally eat. I ate a little bit more bread than I normally eat because we're not a restaurant that has homemade bread. Yeah. You just do it. Plus, would I have done that the night before weigh-in? Probably not. But I knew I had several days. So you kind of take leeways for certain days of where you're out. So yeah, I definitely had some indulgent meals. Higher point, they weren't anything crazy. So I was going in there and I had a really good Sunday through Thursday, because I went Friday morning. So I had really good. So I stepped on the scale. I was down 0.6. Again, that's 2 weeks in a row, 0.6. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I'm like, yeah. Girls and boys, when the mindset sticks in, you do well. So with that being said, since we are 0.6, it makes 1.2, which means I get to move a bead over. I do. So yes. And I'm 0.2 to my next bead. So yes. And if you didn't know, what I do is I have pounds lost, pounds to lose, and I move it over when I hit a pound, and I move it over to the other side. Because sometimes it's a nice visual to see your success. To see that you are building that pounds lost. You're building that. All these, and I should really count these because I think they might have fallen, so I might be missing a few. But I did add a few to the pounds to lose because being that I'm weighing differently at there versus home, I had to add a few. It's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh my gosh. I was getting weighed naked here. Different scale. I'm all right with it. I am. You know what? In the grand scheme of things, what's a few more pounds? In your mentally mind, I'm really good where I'm at. So if I get those extra pounds off, it's all even for the better. So that's me. Timmy he will not be starting for probably he gets back to school. So I would expect another month at least. All right. What is the topic of this week? How to get from what to do to will do. So instead of what to do, will do. The will to do. Want to will do. That's it. Can she read today? No. Allergies are horrific. I don't think you can hear it in my voice. They're horrific today. How to get from want to will do. And this whole month of July is mindset. And I think they're continuing it in August as well, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think mindset is key. So if we get our minds focused, I think we definitely will see results that we want to see. But you can't go in there, I just want to lose weight. Yeah, well, the mindset has to be there. It has to all click. And these little techniques that they do really help that. All right. How to bridge the gap between want to and will do. Like, we all want to. I want to lose weight. But will you lose weight? Will you put that work in to lose weight? You can't want to do it. You got to do it. So it's like, I want to. Okay, you have to work to do it. Because it's not going to be like, oh, she wants to do it, so here you go. It's going to be easy for you. Yeah, if only. But no, we have to really, sometimes it says, I say there's blood, sweat, and tears. I know what to do. I just don't do it. How many of us can say that? I can say it. Feeling seen, same. Next time you set your sights on something, think about exactly what you want to accomplish and then how. Ask yourself the few cues to turn on those intentions and actions. Like, how are you going to do it? These are the cues that'll help you. Like, I want to be healthy. I want to lose weight. I want to fit into these pants. I want to be this size for my daughter's wedding. I want to play with my grandchildren. We all want a lot of things. But how do we achieve those goals? And that's how, like, all these mindset things are just dumping into our psyche. And mine's pretty crazy. So I don't know about any of you, but mine's. Ooh. How many steps will it take to achieve your goal? 1, 2, or 3? Break down your goals into smaller goals and focus one step at a time. I want to lose 200 pounds. That's a huge, lofty goal. How do we break that up? I want to lose 1 pound a week. And let me tell you something. If you got 200 pounds to lose, I'm going to be blunt and say it. You could lose 1 pound a week if you're on plan. 1 pound for someone that loses 200 pounds is doable. It's not impossible, but you have to really focus and do it. It's not like you can sit there and say that in theory, but don't do the work to produce that. The work. And sad, the reality is that gaining weight is very easy, very fun. Losing weight is not. Nope. It's hard because you're used to just grabbing and eating. But we can't do that anymore. We can't grab and eat. We have to grab it, weigh it, measure it, and track it, and then we can eat it. And we can't eat probably all we put on that scale. We don't have enough points for the day to do that. I can't have as much pasta as I will like. I have to have 2 ounces of pasta. I will tell you, in the beginning, it's very difficult for a person Italian girl here, who just eats, strap the feed bag on, ate her pasta, to weigh and measure it and see that's all she's getting. Now, I could save points and have more, but in my mind, I did literally learn, that's an awful lot to eat at one meal. And I, did without all day to have that. And was it really that satisfying? Not really. You can make 2 ounces of pasta very satisfying. And that's the thing, how do I make it satisfying? Well, going in there starving will help. Because if you go in there starving, it just throws the whole meal off. So let's see what WWS said. I can go off on a tangent here. Consider the circumstances you'll be in at go time. How will you feel? So what is circumstances? People, circumstances. Calm, rested, and ready to excited. Tired, stressed, and distracted. Ugh. Try modifying your goal to one you realistically want and, highlighted word, can do. I mean, you can't fight for those goals. You can't sit there and be like, oh my God. No, because remember, this isn't our whole life. This is just a part of our life. So the goal has to be doable. Because like I said, it's a small part of our day. We have other things to do. We have a life. We have a family. We have jobs. We have pets. So we have hobbies. So everything, this is just a small part of your day. So if you're all encompassing all this, you got time for nothing else. And that's not good. Picture any barriers that might get in your way. How will you overcome them? Oh, barriers. Time, the food, the strength, the to-do list, because there's other things to do. So how do how do you multitask your life, basically? Based on your answers, how confident are you to accomplishing your goal? I've got this. Yes, you do. Now get to it. To be honest, it's a toss-up. Tweak your goal to help you boost your confidence. If you're feeling it's too overwhelming, how do we tweak it to make it a doable goal? not very confident. Adjust your goal. Think small and simple. Small and simple in the very beginning is key. And then you could always build on it. Think about that. You could always build on that goal. You don't have to stay to it. Let's dive deeper. It's easy to feel super optimistic and inspired when thinking about routines and goals on your weight loss journey. I mean, we join Weight Watchers or we join a plan and I'm like, okay, I've joined this. Now I'm going to lose 150 pounds. That's in theory. How do you put that into motion? It's easy to say, it's hard to do. And I think you have to realize that there is work involved. There is things you have to do. It's not as easy as saying that. It's not as easy like, oh my gosh, okay, I've just joined, I'm going to lose 150 pounds, and by next summer, I'm going to be the size I want. Yeah, doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, and you find that out the first week in. You know, if you're not doing your plan or you have nothing, you're not prepared, you go on this guy, you've gained. Well, how did that happen? I joined, and why didn't I not lose? Because you didn't really plan. You just sat there and said it, but didn't really put any of those things into motion. And we're all guilty of that. You envision your best self working out. How many of us even think, yeah, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to drink my water, and it's just going to happen like somebody waves a wand over you. You've joined Weight Watchers, oh, ding, now you're going to do everything right. If only. If only it was that easy. But I will say that is a step in the right direction. You have to pick a plan. You have to pick a plan of action, whether that be Weight Watchers, whether that be like whole foods eating, whether it be Mediterranean, whether that be keto, even keto. You know, just because you eat meat and beef and pork and cheese doesn't mean you can't have a plan and you need to think, because you can't have a lot of carbs, you can't have a lot of fruit. So that definitely, and bread, forget bread. So that takes all planning, like how am I going to get this keto diet on, everything takes an action plan. You envision your best self working out, eating more 0-point foods, cooking healthy meals. It's great. Then life is like laugh out loud. Work throws you for a loop. You forget to grocery shop, or you remember you actually hate cooking. Soon your brain chimes in, why can't I just follow through? Because that's not you. If you hate cooking, then don't cook. Don't be somebody you're not, but find a way without cooking to be able to get this plan in. There's meal plans you can purchase. There's those cute little subscriptions that they send, like, I can't remember, like HelloFresh, just pops into my head. So if you're not a person who cooks, HelloFresh might be a nice option for you. They send you everything. Yes, you have to cook it. But sometimes it's the theory of thinking what to cook versus somebody telling you to, here it is, here's all your ingredients, here's your directions, just do it. Some of you are like that. Some of you just need a little bag with ingredients and you'll do it. Some of us, we'd rather just order it already done. That's why like prepared foods came into fruition. People didn't want to cook anymore. They just didn't want to be in the kitchen. We're not back here in the way we live. We are here. So life has had to catch up with all that. So yes, you have prepared meals. You have convenience foods. Are they always the best option? They're not always, but I think if you keep them in moderation or you eat them in a portion, oh my gosh, that stuff is what's what I'm looking for. I can't think of the word I'm reaching for. Like a pepperoni or a meat stick. It's, it's processed. That's what I'm processed. You probably all yell, processed, processed foods. They came into fruition because we wanted quick. We wanted easy. So, all right. They made processed foods. Are they always the best options? And we're always the worst options, I should say. They're not always the worst options. I think if your whole diet is processed foods, that's a bad option. But if you intermingle them, it's not bad. I'm not going to ever sit here and tell you anything is bad, because it isn't. It isn't. You have to have things in moderation. Yeah, you can have a hot dog as long as you're not eating 10 hot dogs a day. The dose is in the poison's in the dose. The dose is in the poison. The food, Science Babe always says the dose is the poison or something like that. It is. You could sit there like every food has, you can't constantly eat things that aren't slightly processed. That's how life is. And it's convenient. And I don't, look upon anybody. It's just, you're never going to stick to something if it's not you. You're not you. Can you reinvent yourself? You could. but you're not going to. You're going to do it for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden the old habits kick back. So it's basically knowing who you are and how do you work with what you got. And you can, because people have done it. So if it can be done, you can do it. It does take work, planning, thought. It doesn't it's not going to be, you're going to wake up and just know what to do. Okay. You got to figure all that out. That's why people just give up, because it's like they don't want to give that couple minutes of how can I work with what I got and plan. And you can. We've all been there. The experience is so common. In fact, behavioral scientists gave an official name. Definition of intention action gap. The disconnect between what you want to do, our intention, and what you actually do, our action. Because we all have grand ideas. I often wanted to be a singer. Do I have the voice for it? No, but if I took voice lessons, I probably would be better. Sometimes we have to do things to get to the goals that we want. Light bulb moment. But you can bridge the gap by thinking through goals from the jump, by considering how by considering the how, the who, plus what else is happening, and feel and deal. You're able to make your path to the extra doable, or maybe even life proof. Yep, we're telling you to stack the deck in your favor. Then, instead of lamenting how you don't do what you set out to do, you'll be celebrating and reaching your goals. I think, like I said, I've said this many times, sometimes we do have these lofty goals and we don't meet them. We go, okay, can't do it, so I guess I'm not going to do it. And we just go back to the easier life of just eating. This lifestyle is work. It is hard. It takes thought. It takes planning. You have to think. It's like, it's automatic to eat bad. It is. Doesn't matter. But when you want to eat better and good, it takes some planning. And, and if you're not a person who likes to be in the kitchen, it puts a little bit more pressure on you to do that. You have to get outside help. You do. But, if you're willing to do some of the little things that, some of the prep work, like you can get a rotisserie chicken. Take the skin off, take the meat off. Yes, even the dark meat. There you have some chicken. Most of it is 0 points, but the thighs you're supposed to count. Dark meat. Or you can just go buy a pack of chicken and cook it yourself. Put it in the Instant Pot. Roast it in the oven. Put it on the grill. Put it on the stovetop. I make stovetop thighs all the time. The family loves them. They're boneless, skinless thighs usually. I just season them and cook them on the stovetop. You could cook a whole mess of chicken. You could get the shrimp, frozen shrimp that is already cooked. It's a thought. I do suggest adding a little Old Bay to it, though. When things are frozen like that and they're already cooked, they have that waterlogged taste. So you want to give them some flavor. Or you can cook them yourself. It's cheaper to buy them uncooked than is cooked. But if you need the convenience, it's there. Make yourself a bag of rice. In the Instant Pot, have it all week. You could also buy bagged, already cooked rice and put it in the microwave. It's done. It's rice. Potatoes. Roast some potatoes. Roast them in the oven. Put them on the grill. Baked potatoes. I'm just coming up with things that are quick meals. Vegetables. You can get a whole, like they sell like the big bags of broccoli and cauliflower. Roast them up. Saute them. Have them ready to go. Eat them raw. Buy a dip. Dip your veggies in dip. That's my favorite thing to do is veggies and dip. Make a yogurt-based dip. You can go to Aldi and buy really good low yogurt dips. You can make your own. I make my own spinach dip. Spinach yogurt. And some seasonings. And it's a really good dip. Make a light ranch. I have many light ranch dips on Dish with D. Easy. I make my own buttermilk. I use it without buttermilk. Whatever your fancy is. And you put your seasonings in it. Or you just buy the seasoning ranch powder. And you put it in some yogurt. Get yourself a good dip. Get your veggies. Breakfast. You could do, the light bread is available. You could make yourself toast. You could make yourself avocado toast. You could make yourself French toast. You could make yourself a French toast casserole. You could make, have some eggs. You could do some oatmeal. You could do oatmeal, overnight oats. You could do hot oatmeal bowls. You can do oat bakes. You can make oat breakfast, oat bars. Yes, again, some work. But you can have it done and you can just pull from it. You could, if you're by yourself, you can make a lot of these and freeze them and just pull them out when you need them. But definitely, in order to achieve your goal, you have to put the work in. And don't expect things to happen overnight. Because here I am. I was all settled and ready to go. I hit goal and, and things happen. And does that mean I give up and be like, well, world shut down, that's like putting, the COVID-19. Does that mean I stop because I wallow in that? I fight every day. I fight every day. And you see it here. I've talked about it all the time. I fight. I have to fight to keep what I have. It is. Just because you're at a goal doesn't mean to stay there. I'm sure that'll be coming up. You have to fight to stay there. And because my tendency is to overeat, it is. My tendency is to grab things and think about it later. I have to fight every day to stay on plan. Will it get easier? For me, I hope so, but I also think for me, I've been heavy for so long that it's going to take me longer than it might take most people, because I've been heavy since puberty. Like I said, I'm probably the size now that I was in high school. So you're talking, I'm 56 currently. I'll be 50. No, I'm 57. Last year. I'm 57 currently. I'll be 58 in a couple of weeks. But I think of, I have to give myself, think about, look where you were and how your life was. And each day it's just going to take you more than maybe most people. And it's all right. I'd rather sit there and fight for this than not, or be, 100 pounds heavier. That's the least I can do for myself. Tracking food, weighing and measuring and just being accountable helps me. So I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to sit there and that's all I have to do. And that's not that much. When you sit there and people say, oh my gosh, you have to track still. How hard is that though? It's not going to take me an hour. Like when you think, oh my God, you still have to track. Like again, somebody using that as an excuse. Do you realize how quick, it? Well, you should know if you track. It doesn't take that long. So am I really going to begrudge myself that because, oh my God, I don't want to track anymore? Like, oh my gosh, it's a couple of seconds between each meal. If I told all day, it takes me probably 8 minutes to track all day. All my food. And I'm going to complain about that? Yeah. There's much bigger things to complain about than tracking your food. So if you're the one that complains about tracking your food, look at the bigger picture. Is what I'm saying. So that is it. I could talk all day about this, and Lord knows you got other things to watch. So that is it for me. Let me know how your week went. Let me know how you did on the scale. Let me know what plan you're on, because a lot of you have come back to WW because of me, and I am so touched. So if you're thinking about coming back to WW, I always have a link down below in the description box for a free month of WW if you're inclined to try that. And like I said, whatever plan you do is the plan you do. Whatever works for you, works for you. And let nobody else tell you different. So that is it. I will dish with you another day. Thank you for watching. If you've not hit that subscribe button, join us here at Dish with Tea. We are exclusively Weight Watchers content again. And thank you so much for welcoming me back. And you have missed me, and it touches my heart. And I forget how much I love being on Weight Watchers and the plan and the community. So it's so great to be back here full time. I'm excited. So I will dish with you another day. Have a great week, and I will see you next week for another weigh-in.